Yeah, so I had a little chat with Jackie about what might be a nice thing to offer for this evening, and there's a practice that she and I did together when we offered the mindfulness with nature as a kind of alternative weekend one. And it was a really delightful weekend where we spent some time outside. And there was one practice in particular that we both and many participants also really enjoyed, which was around the four elements and seeing how it's kind of like a reflection in a way, and sensing into how the elements are alive in the body as well as in the world around us, and just with the same open curiosity that we normally bring to practices, noticing what it brings to reflect and to kind of be with those themes in the body um, during that practice. So Jackie suggested that maybe this would be a kind of new experience to lead in this context. So I'll be curious to hear afterwards how it lands with you. And it's a practice that you can do in any posture. So maybe you want to just check in with your body, whether sitting feels like the most supportive, the most helpful way to be for your body in this moment, or whether lying down might be welcome. Taking all the time you need to really settle into to this half hour of spaciousness. I'm going to find that magic button where you all become quiet. That's it. So let's see what this practice brings. So let's begin by welcoming the body into this moment and into this posture, this place. And really giving ourselves all the permission we might need to look after the body. Maybe some shuffling or adjusting into the most comfortable position for this moment. And as well as welcoming the body, let's also make space for whatever is present in our heart and mind. Any thoughts and feelings that might be present, any mood. Maybe beginning with a few deeper breaths and giving ourselves permission to let go on the out breath, body letting go of the breath, and maybe the mind letting go of whatever has been happening before. beginning to arrive more in this moment. And then let's orient our mind towards what we're going to do by reflecting briefly on our intention. Seeing what's alive for you in this moment. And then checking in with the motivation. What gives your intention fuel and energy? Maybe connected to a heart's longing. And this motivation might be both for self but also for others. What we might mean to others in their lives. Again, just seeing what's present. And then letting intention and motivation come to rest again. And let's begin to land with our awareness in the subtle movement of the breath that's happening in the body. Noticing how and where it's flowing. Becoming really interested, as if for the very first time, in the process of breathing. And as you're sensing into the actual aliveness of the breath in this moment, maybe reflecting that this oxygen that you're breathing in now has been exhaled by grass, by trees and bushes, by algae deep in the ocean. And as we breathe out, the carbon dioxide that we let go of in turn gets inhaled and absorbed again by the grass, the trees, the bushes, the algae. So the air that's inside our body is exactly the same as the air outside, the air surrounding us. And the same air has been breathed by dolphins, by birds, by people from beginningless time. Both here in this part of the world where you find yourself, but also right across the world. And this air is the same air that we share with the future generations, those who come after us. So let's rest in connectedness through the air that we breathe. And then from here, let's turn towards the fluidity in the body, the water element. And maybe in your mind, sensing into your surroundings where there might be a body of water nearby, maybe a pond or a river near your house. Maybe the rain is falling from the sky right as we sit here. Maybe you're near the sea. And just reflecting how this water outside is not so different from the water in every cell of our body. And the water in our blood, our tears, our sweat and mucus. The salinity of our blood closely resembles the saltiness of the ocean. And just as our body consists of about 2/3 of water, so this precious planet that we live on. If we were to look at it from space, we would see mostly water. Again, about 2/3. And so there are outer cycles of the oceans evaporating, turning into clouds, rain, streams that flow down to the sea. And then there's the inner cycles of us drinking water, of the saliva and the juices in the digestive system, and then how the water gets flushed out again, taking waste products out and rejoining the flow of the sea, the sky, through the mountains. These endless cycles. The water drunk by zebras in Africa, swallowed by whales in the Arctic waters. The same water that's lain in the alpine lakes and has been drunk by trees and cactus in the desert, passing through people throughout the centuries. So let's rest in connectedness through the water that flows through us and all around us. And then from here, let's turn to the element of the earth. Just noticing where you're sitting or lying, feeling the hardness and solidity of the earth underneath us, as well as the earthy parts in our body. And reflecting how this element of earth pours through us via the food that we eat, and how this becomes muscle and bones, teeth and tissues. In many ways, we are earth. We're made from earth, built up from earth, and also we'll go back to earth. So we're not just on the earth, we are that part of the earth that moves and breathes, that can sing and dance. Inside our body are the same molecules as in the rest of the earth. The molecules and elements that we share with the rocks on the shore, the bark of trees, the earth to which the autumn leaves are returning. So maybe entrusting our weight in this moment a little bit more to that unconditional support of the earth, and resting in connectedness with this earth element. And then as we're sitting or lying here, let's tune in to the sources of light and of heat that are around us in this moment. And in particular, even though it may be dark at this time on this part of the earth, let's connect with the warmth of the sun. This generous source of light and warmth. Reflecting how we are living in a warm blooded body that's so sensitive to temperature. And the warmth from the sun's fiery belly has traveled millions of miles through cold and dark space to warm up our atmosphere and our skin. And all that we eat, from apples to root veg, to the fish that swim deep in the oceans and other animals, we all owe our existence to the life-giving sun. Plants converting their energy from sunlight. And we can receive this when we eat. And just reflecting on our constant need for warmth and energy, just like all warm-blooded creatures. And how in this warm body lives a warm heart, radiating its wellspring of loving kindness out in all directions, just like the sun. So let's rest in connectedness with this fire element of warmth and light. And so here we are, alive and connected. We would survive only minutes without air, maybe a few days without water or a source of warmth, and not much more than a few weeks without feeding on plants or animals. Sensing into the inseparability. The inseparability with this living, breathing planet Earth. And me as part of this Earth. And we could rest with this connectedness for a little while through a reflection from it's been handed to us by Thich Nhat Hanh. Breathing in, the earth is part of me. Breathing out, I am part of the earth. And in this way, we're sitting together, each on our own particular little bit of this earth, our particular location, and completely connected. Breathing in, I am part of the earth. Breathing out, the earth is part of me. And so in this way, we're coming to the end of this practice. Maybe reflecting on any benefits, any positive experience, positive energy generated through our intention, our practice. And may this continue to be a resource for us as we go forth into the rest of our evening, the days to come. But also may it radiate out, may it be shared with others near and far, and those in the future, and in ever-widening circles. Hmm.